He should be ashamed of what he said. His parents are going to be ashamed. His brothers and sisters are going to be ashamed. It's reprehensible and condemnable words he said. I think he will have to join the investigation as he gets conditional relief from the court that was not very happy with giving it. They also said there are no 100 FIRs. There are 2 FIRs and he better join the investigation. So, Simi, when you speak about what is also stated in Bollywood, this is also a wake-up call for them, because the Supreme Court said we want to understand from the central government lawyers what are the restrictions on freedom of speech, how much is too much.
I mean, I think Karan Johar already, his last season with Coffee with Karan Johar did not do well, in spite of ruining other relationships and talking about such vulgar topics and subjects. You know, I think the most affected person in Bollywood is going to be Karan Johar, because he used to only manage to get TRPs on his vulgar and adulterated content and very smutty and pun kind of statements. So he's going to be the one who will get most affected. But here we cannot forget whether it was Neha Dhupia, who at the height of the Me Too movement had vowed to stand up for every woman who will go through this. But then what was she serving out when she was doing her show and calling other Bollywood celebrities and heroines on her show? What kind of questions was she asking them? You know, they call Big Boss dirty. Big Boss is not even half as close to the dirty statements that are made on Big Boss when Hardik Pandya comes and says that, you know, okay, he's been initiated and this is the first time he's done it with somebody and he's got intimate, and he comes and tells his parents that. The Cricket Board of India, the Cricket Board banned him for a short term and he was fined. But here, there are no rules and regulations in Bollywood. I think this is where the stars need to realize that when they get together, for one star to be questioning them and for one star to be answering, they do not stop at any limit for their filth. And they keep blaming the media. We are not your watchdogs. Our job is to report. It's you people who give out this filth and these dirty, obscene and vulgar statements.
Yes, absolutely. I think when you're saying this extremely candidly, Simi, I would say you're absolutely right. My final question to you, the Supreme Court said there should not be a misuse of free speech. I think often the Bollywood has come out and not apologized when they need to, not supported the people they need to, not spoken on cases of suicide when they need to. But when it comes to one of their own, they should take a call whether they want to condemn or support. I think the absolute blanket silence of the Bollywood also on this case speaks a lot. They're choosing to be silent. And is their silence going to be taken as acquiescence has to be seen? Because the Supreme Court said when it comes to free speech, it should not be misused.
You know, the topmost heroes, the topmost heroines, they have taken up the mudda, the subject of depression, and they opened a depression ki dukaan, literally. They are making money out of that, representing so many NGOs and so many other associations. And this has really become a dukaan for them. Anytime they need to promote a film with a similar subject, they start bringing up the topic about depression and everything. I mean, you all are using all these things, and then when somebody commits suicide, what is that? Isn't there depression? Isn't depression a part of something that may have led a person to suicide? You all talk about going through depression and surviving it and becoming a depression survivor, a suicide survivor. But what about the person who has committed suicide and he's from Bollywood? But you all will stay quiet and won't open your mouth. This is double standards and hypocrisy at its peak.
I completely agree with you, Simi. And I think as much as Ranveer Allahbadia and all the other people on the show need to be called out, the show has been stopped right now. It's the larger picture also of misuse of free speech by many, including many in Bollywood. Thank you for being with us. Well, we're going to see what happens in the case in the next hearing, but also the Solicitor General, the Attorney General are going to be a part of this hearing when the Supreme Court is going to see whether the misuse of free speech is happening. They condemn the reprehensible words of Ranveer Allahbadia. They also question why the high and mighty choose to come to the Supreme Court rather than joining the investigation in Guwahati and Mumbai. And this is going to be a very, very strong condemnation of Ranveer Allahbadia. It's not a relief, I would say. They've only said he better join the investigation and not go for the investigation with a lawyer or send his own lawyer.
True that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Simi.